Good evening and a very warm welcome to you all. I wish to start by extending a special welcome to Joanne Paul, SCB Chief Financial Officer for Africa. Thank you for making time to attend this event. Ladies and gentlemen, ACCA Mauritius is extremely proud to host tonight the 6th edition of its new member ceremony. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to Standard Chartered Bank Mauritius Limited for kindly sponsoring our event for the second time. As many of you know, Standard Chartered Bank is a global ACCA-approved employer with which ACCA enjoys strong and fruitful working relationships. As you're all aware, Mauritius boasts amongst the highest ACCA membership per head in the world. Moreover, it is with pride that we have noted up to now the admirable ways in which our members have assisted our country in meeting defining challenges and have relentlessly demonstrated goodwill and sense of purpose, qualities that entirely reflect ACCA's core values and standards. In fact, ACCA, through its comprehensive training leading to membership, ensures that its members are credible, reliable, and ethical professionals. As you all know, ACCA is a professional, not purely academic qualification. As we gather here this evening to celebrate individuals, especially who have recently achieved their goal of obtaining ACCA membership, we recognize that they have successfully obtained the complete ACCA qualification, including examinations, ethics, and experience, and are now full-fledged professionals who can add the letters ACCA and in a few years' time FCCA to their names. Becoming an ACCA member is a key milestone in an accounting professional's life, as it marks the beginning of a promising career in a prestigious profession. Achieving ACCA membership is indeed similar to acquiring a passport for success. Dear guests, ACCA produces complete finance professionals. As an ACCA member, one is groomed to be able to constructively contribute towards the economic development of the country and play a crucial role in developing new sectors and be part of the global finance transformation. And as we continue to consolidate our relationships with the private sector, with government, our members need to be even more in the vanguard of fiscal responsibility, productive investment, privatization programs, and the provision of conditions which allow individuals, businesses, and the profession at large to perform at an optimum level. Huge challenges have been commendably taken up by ACCA members in the world. And new ACCA members here present tonight, you are undoubtedly capable of the same, as much as your predecessors. I am confident that you will actively contribute to upholding the image of ACCA and of the accountancy profession as a whole, and I wish you every success. Let me also make an appeal to you to follow the example of our past presidents, of so many other high-flying ACCA members who are powerful ambassadors of the ACCA. Actually, every single member of the ACCA should strive to be a strong ambassador of our association, in order to convey ACCA's values, objectives, and standards. With these few words, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your attention, and I'll now invite you to view a message from the ACCA Global CEO, Helen Brand, OB. Thank you.
I've had the privilege of meeting outstanding ACCA members who have used their qualification and membership of a global body to go on and enjoy considerable success around the world. What is also noticeable is how ACCA members continue to contribute to public value. But what does public value mean to ACCA? Public value means working in the public interest, promoting responsible and ethical business, and supporting enhanced global economic performance. In order for you to contribute to the public value, then of course ACCA has a responsibility to bring value to you as members. There are many benefits to ACCA membership, some of which you may not currently be aware of, so let me touch on these for a moment. The ACCA designation after your name is a symbol of excellence and recognisable to employers globally. With this in mind, our free ACCA Careers portal, acccacareers.com, features a number of employers who are specifically looking to recruit ACCA members. As a member, you will now also receive 10 editions of the hugely popular Accounting and Business magazine each year, bringing you the latest news, views and features from the accounting and business world. You can also subscribe to our weekly e-zine newsletter, AB Direct, by visiting the Accounting and Business section of the website. Another advantage of our membership is keeping you up to date through continuing professional development, or CPD, initiatives and events. ACCA has developed a network of partnerships with prestigious universities and other professional bodies around the world, providing access to further qualifications and exclusive e-learning courses. Many of our partners offer discounts on their courses, membership fees or tuition materials to ACCA members. Our CPD and networking events held by our local office are another opportunity for members to develop their learning and meet like-minded individuals. CPD is about keeping you up to date, in the know with what is happening in the accountancy industry. To help further enhance your reputation and the profession's reputation as being vital for business, ACCA works closely with employers to develop new thinking on accountancy and business through our Research and Insights programme. Our Research and Insights team addresses issues crucial for businesses, economies, society and the profession, both for now and in the future. Through events and collaboration, leaders in business, government and academia are brought together to shape thinking on these issues. Our R&I work aims to demonstrate to all our stakeholders that ACCA understands the business world and that it meets the needs of its customers and the broader marketplace in which our members operate. The R&I themes that ACCA has selected, a selection based on analysis and research, are risk and reward, finance transformation, audit and society, corporate reporting, access to finance, and environmental accountability. These themes help us to focus on the task at hand, to show what we have to offer. These themes start debates, influence the influencers, and provide us with media coverage around the world. They position ACCA, your membership body, as influential. ACCA also provides you the opportunity to join in the discussion on these themes, such as on our members-only LinkedIn group, or by engaging with ACCA's council, officers and executive team. I want to talk about skills. Your skills are a vital asset to your business, your clients, and more widely the economy. The skills you have are especially important today as the global economic crisis continues its recovery. What is needed in this profession is the ability to think outside the box with fresh-faced ideas and an outward-looking attitude. We at ACCA encourage you to become a complete finance professional by learning new skills as your career progresses. Indeed, this is part of your duty as a member. Without you and our students, ACCA would not be where we are today. You help to build and maintain our global reputation. Accountants are increasingly being called upon to be at the forefront of matters during these unsettling economic times. The ability to adapt and evolve to situations as they arise makes us dependable as a profession. The great work ACCA members are doing all over the world is testament to this dependability, and the work you do to uphold our reputation is excellent. Please continue doing what you're doing. I know it is greatly appreciated.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really honored to be given the opportunity to speak to you, especially to you, our new members. This is the most important part of my job as the Regional Director for Sub-Saharan Africa. And why do I say this? I think the ultimate objective me is to make sure that I am able to demonstrate that we have created the right level of qualified professional accountants who can contribute to the development of Africa. So I'm always excited when I am invited to attend these events. Another reason why I also get quite excited is that I've been through this journey before, and I think it's a critical milestone in your life. I think if you are a professional accountant and you were to be asked, you know, what were the 2-3 key life-changing moments for you in your life, you know, today will be one of those days. Or you may argue when you received your results that you've passed your final exams. And it's real because many start the journey, but few complete. So I am delighted that I'm here to share with you in your success. I'd also like to thank Jo Paul for making herself available today. Jo is the CFO, as you've heard, of Standard Chartered. Not just Standard Chartered as in a country, but Standard Chartered Africa. You know, so there's a premium on her time. I'm sure some of you are new members, work in practice. You do what we call chargeable time. You charge your clients. Now, could you imagine, you know, the rate or the fee that you would assign to the CFO of Standard Chartered Africa? Thank you very much, Jo. I won't dwell on that. I think they get the message. Thanks. I'm also delighted, of course, to welcome you and your team here. We are really pleased to have you. And I'm also delighted to, you know, to have Hemraj Hulash, who's our ACCA Council member. Thank you, Hemraj, for making time to be with us this evening. Of course, our network panel. Now, to you, our members, I just want to say a few words. You have joined a well-respected group. I mean, Madvi has said a few words about that. We also heard the message from Helen Brand. ACCA is a well-respected finance, professional accountancy body. This reputation has been gained over many years, 100 years plus. We have members and students, and I'm sure you know that, across many, many countries. The reputations of being true to the values of ACCA is what has carried us through all these years. Integrity, innovation, and our ability to deliver results. Now, this reputation is one that, as I mentioned, has been worked on for many years, and becoming members today means that you are also going to pick up that mantle, and we expect you as members to also play your part in us maintaining that reputation. As a global body of professional accountants, our members are also able to benefit from the partnerships that we've worked so hard to build and maintain. And we have achieved our position today by focusing on global delivery and global opportunity. Our diversity is in our strength, and our members are equipped with skills that make them fit for business, regardless of the sector in which they find themselves. And in fact, we are not limited by borders. As you've heard already, our members play a key role in building the global accountancy profession and working with many other bodies at international, regional, and local level, which will make a significant impact. ACC and its members are influential in shaping public policy, as well as demonstrating thought leadership in education, training, and ethics. And being a member today not only opens doors to these great opportunities, but you also have access to the first-class range of services to support you as a member, as Helen flagged in that video. We also have a huge reputation, with our Research and Insights program, which means that you as members are also invited to regularly play a part in the development of the profession at all levels. What this means is that you can ultimately create and influence policies that impact on individuals, on communities, and also on businesses. And by becoming involved with ACCA, you can also raise your personal profile. You can broaden your skills. You can also broaden your professional networks and learn new things. So ACCA provides you with a wealth of materials, opportunities to assist you throughout your career. A recent development which I would like to share with you, and I think some of you might probably be aware of, is our joint partnership with the University of London, UCL to be precise, to offer a Master's in Professional Accountancy using an online flexible platform at a significantly reduced cost. We wanted to ensure that we remain at the forefront of groundbreaking education by offering the world's first integrated master's degree program at the same time as taking the ACCA professional qualification. This is the first truly integrated master's program with an accountancy body at the professional level of its kind. And as members, you are eligible as well to be able to register. You play an important role in keeping the awareness of ACCA at the forefront of all those that you come across. And as a result, as has been mentioned, you are our ambassadors. Without you, the members, we would not have an association. We also have several LinkedIn groups, again that was highlighted earlier, and I'll really urge you to join and be able to share ideas with the members from across the 173 countries across the world. So all these options are available, and the avenues that I would urge you to plug into. We encourage you to get involved because this is your association. It is you who set the tone and the pace for ACCA. And for that reason, it is important that you take part. Being on the guard, dealing with the complexities of finance, your views, your stories, and your experiences are relevant, very, very relevant and important to us. And by telling us what employees think of us, what trends you notice within your day-to-day business, we can ensure that we keep ourselves at the forefront of the profession. ACCA will then be able to ensure that it remains best in class by always having its finger on the pulse. So again, we rely on you to feed back to us. In order for ACCA to continue to lead, we need to remain an important part of the fabric of society. Delivering global benefits through a superior program of policy, insight, and research projects is part of this. And our mission remains to provide opportunity and open access to people of ability wherever they might find themselves in the world. We also take the role of supporting our members throughout their careers very seriously. And by using your qualifications and highly transferable skills to pursue successful careers in every sector. Going hand in hand with this is ensuring we achieve and promote the highest ethical governance and professional standards. Our willingness to question and challenge accepted thinking and embrace new opportunities and fresh ways of doing things have been fundamental to our success. And we will encourage you to also follow in that regard. Our unique combination of reach, relevance, and resources is what makes us different. And together, they are at the heart of our success and the greatest source of competitive advantage for us, now and in the future. We will continue to work closely with employers in all sectors to obtain recognition in the marketplace and to further the reputation and reach of ACCA. if you look around you today, there are many people who are proud to be members of ACCA. So it's not just you, our new members. We also have some members here, our network panel, and indeed some employers as well. Very, very proud. For many of you, your experience is unique, and your stories are inspiring. Increasingly, a wide variety of members are giving something back and helping to inspire future accountants. If you would like your story to be heard, especially by those going through the journey today, students on the same road you've traveled, please tell us. If you can offer work experience opportunities or are interested in thought leadership, ask a member of staff here today, and we can introduce you to our advocacy program. We truly believe that ACCA is the leading qualification, and we want to demonstrate this. A large proportion of this is down to our members and to the reputations they carry as they go along through their careers. Many have strong work ethic and display the highest levels of professionalism. They do not fear to be forthright and learning from their mistakes, and neither should you be. I'll leave you with a few words of advice. Although you fail many times, do not be defeated. Simply dust yourself off and restart all over again. Ethics. Ethics and ethics. That is what will take you where you want to be. Do not compromise wherever you find yourself. Challenge constructively. Your association is behind you to support you. You need to make an example wherever you find yourself. You should remember to recognize the people who surround you and that support you on a day-to-day basis. I think within the settings that you may be working in as newly qualified members, you may come across some who are struggling to get through their exams. You may come across some who have resigned to the fact that they may never get through. The fact that you are now a member of ACCA doesn't mean overnight you should start being rude to those around you. You need to work with your teams and make sure together you deliver. So please bear that in mind. I just want to, at this stage, do something sort of briefly. Can I just ask those who are guests of the new members today, if you could all stand up. So if you're parents, or you are a spouse, or you came to support somebody, if you could stand up, please. I just want to say something. Oh, that's a huge crowd. Okay. On behalf of ACCA, I want to thank you for the support that you've given our members. I know this journey is not an easy one. Personally, I have witnessed marriages broken, relationships, here's some smiles, soured, a lot of investment, a lot of time, those cancelled, dinner appointments, and really those antisocial sort of behaviors related to trying to get through the exams. But on behalf of ACCA and on behalf of our members, I really want to thank you for your support, for your dedication. I think we should give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. You may sit down. Thank you. Now to the members, those for whom we are here, please could you stand up as well, please. Now we celebrate you, and I'm very pleased of the journey where you are now. This is the beginning of the journey, but I am really grateful that you've made it this far. Again, I just want us to acknowledge these new members. They have done a really great job. It's a very tough one to go through your examinations, your experience, and your ethics model. And having completed all of that, they've now become members. So let's acknowledge them with a round of applause. Please be seated. So I'm extremely grateful to have had this opportunity to engage and to be giving you this address. I once again welcome you to the ACCA family. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Don't risk, bankers are very conservative and don't take risks. Not on the risk of missing to mention someone, I would just say distinguished guests, because we are all distinguished guests tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and a very warm welcome to this new members ceremony. First of all, let me express my hearty congratulations to the new members joining the ACCA family tonight. Standard Chartered is particularly proud to associate itself with this prestigious ceremony. As a bank operating for more than 150 years in the world's most dynamic market, Africa, Middle East, Asia, we have been the witness of important milestone in the development of economies. And as partner in these economies, we have also been active promoters of education, developing talents across the markets we operate. We believe in the power of education to not only help our business to succeed, but most importantly, to help individuals to grow, transform lives, communities, and ultimately economies. Standard Chartered Bank was established in 2002, and we have taken the same stance here. We support education as the key enabler to further develop their country and to transform Mauritius into a successful international financial center. We have partnered with the Ministry of Education since 2012 to develop an innovative vision screening program that has reached out to 45,000 children in all primary schools. Last year, we launched the Go, an educational program again for the economic empowerment of underprivileged girls, training NGOs and the ministries to develop the right partnership to roll out this program within the community. The ACCA and the Standard Chartered Group have been working together for many years on a global scale and have excellent mutual supportive relationship. Together we have developed an internship program across sub-Saharan Africa, and in line with this program, we have launched our ACCA training graduate program last year. I'm very glad to announce that we have onboarded our first student this year. Our commitment is not new and is here for the long run, and we are here for good. Another pleasure to introduce you to Joe Paul, one of our top talents in Standard Chartered Bank, our Chief Financial Officer of Africa, and in his role, she's responsible for providing leadership, strategy, direction, governance, and oversight to business partners, and currently supporting more than 15 countries. Joe Paul is also a director of Standard Chartered Zimbabwe and a member of the Fiscal Council for Standard Chartered Angola, and chair the board of the Charities Aid Foundation Southern Africa. She's part of the South Africa Boss of the Year Alumni for 2013, a national award, and was identified by Euromoney as one of Africa's 20 rising stars in 2014. She's a qualified professional with extensive experience in the Pan-African, Middle East, and the Indian Oceans. She's a highly principled and deeply passionate about people. She served on the South African Institute of Chartered Accountants, Initial Professional Development, and exam committees, and also worked extensively with a young entrepreneur and mentors women in business. Having closely worked with Joe Paul, I must say, and I must admit for some time, I can tell you that she's really passionate and a true believer in the potential of Mauritius as an emerging IFC. And the role of Mauritius has been the gateway to Africa, and more referred to of what Singapore used to be decades back. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Joe Paul.
Normally should be low. So thank you, Danny, for the very warm welcome. I have seen some familiar faces that I haven't seen in over a decade. And just to bear testimony to how much Mauritius has changed, 15 years ago, where we were today at the Standard Chartered building, in Ebene were sugarcane fields. So it really has been a monumental shift. It's a privilege to be here tonight. So to all the new members, thank you very much for all the speeches you've listened to around the people convicted to helping you being successful. To all the supporting spouses, friends, family, I agree with Jamil, it's been a joint journey and not an easy one. Use the free time wisely in this space. So I really am delighted to address you, our future leaders, and to be here in Mauritius, which has diversified tremendously over time. So you have key pillars in your sector at the moment that covers ICT, tourism, financial services, and manufacturing. So much more than what you loved and known for in terms of sand, sea, and sun. And I think the ability to combine somewhere beautiful to come with somewhere so intellectually inspiring really sets you apart in that regard. So there's a really commercial shift around Mauritius. You're the gateway between Africa and Asia. You have strong commercial ties with both continents, strong cultural ties with both continents, and really well positioned to take what we're wanting to do with Africa to the next level. So what does it mean for you, the new members of the ACCA, the new accountants in the room? Mauritius generates about 200 accountants a year. That's no mean feat in terms of the country and the population size that you have here. And in fact, you're really critical to where we want to go to as a region in terms of Africa, Asia, and the Middle East emerging markets in general. The intellectual property, the energy, the wherewithal you've had to get this far in your own process and milestone is what you're going to need to lead us into the future. Trend is one thing. We've all heard the famous economist pieces around the hopeless continent. We've heard Africa rising, and we're sitting in a room with those of you that will be Africa realized. A trend is not enough. You've got 7 of the top 10 growing economies in Africa here. And in that space, Mauritius is a really key point and frame of reference to take us forward. So the successful future comes down to people. And the people in the room are the ones that will lead us bravely there. You've heard the term bean counter, anyone? Okay. The old accountant or the generic accountant and how much the world has shifted. What we do and what you will do is going to change that view from being a support function to being a business partner that really moves things forward. From being a newsreader, costs down, revenue up, worst scenario, revenue down, costs up, to being a real journalist and investigating the options and opportunities. And that's what's going to make your career truly rewarding and truly important. So no longer is the expectation just from you as you embark on your careers, knowing the numbers. It's about reading between the numbers, being grounded in fact and figures, and really making a difference. If Mauritius is going to indeed be the international financial center of the future, it requires you to play a leadership role. Not too long ago, 50 years in fact, and Singapore celebrates its birthday, with Singapore coming onto the continent to ask us advice around what to do differently. We are sitting in the same position, poised for success in the next level. ACCA recently did a study with 750 CFOs, finance directors, and C-suite professionals, and asked them what they were looking for out of people just like you that are coming into the profession. Tonight, you tick the first box, and you tick it absolutely proudly. Your core fundamentals and the qualification behind your name is there. 95% of the people you will work for recognize you need that to get your foot in the door. So you're an A student already. You're an A+. Right. The second one is about being the spine of the business. Jamil spoke about ethics and ethics and ethics. Conduct, being able to do the right thing, sometimes lonely in that space, have the right courageous conversations, and stand up for what you believe in, so that when you do go either to bed at night, or you leave the organization you're from, or you move to a new one, you will leave with your head held high, having stood the profession and yourself in good stead. This is really important because it's part of our brand value. There's a concrete credibility that comes with having ACCA behind your name and being in the profession that you now hold dear in terms of a brand you become an ambassador for. Be interested, be relevant. Really, really understand your industry. What's happening not just internally, but what's happening with regulation, legislation, accounting standards, what's changing from a tax perspective, what's happening around competitors and peers, more people coming into the market. And as Mauritius really endeavours to grow, you're going to see some really interesting competition and companies setting up their businesses here. You can continue to expect ongoing changes. I don't think the one thing my CFOs and my finance teams are not is bored. Okay, there are lots of changes, opportunities to stretch how you think, how you do what you do, and what you influence. The ability to really track these and start to influence, and you heard Helen Brand said, Jamil said, policy making, changes around how you apply guidelines and regulations, having a voice, earning your seat at the table, and making a difference is key. In fact, Fitch, one of the rating agencies, said if finance professionals and the CFO could really articulate to investors what Plan B is, if Plan A didn't work out, that would shift the dial on how they rated organizations and businesses. You play such a key role in terms of next steps and how we're perceived. You need to be ambidextrous. How many of you are left-handed? None of you? Come on, Danny, you work for me. Okay, left-handed, right-handed, you need to be able to do both. You're literally going to learn to juggle. So business as usual and doing your day job, strategic pieces, resources, personalities. So that ability to be ambidextrous but authentic is going to become really critical in your role. Working through routine and strategic pieces. And in fact, business experience and your ability to identify, prioritize, and juggle more than one thing has become the baseline of the future professional. Finance insights and analytics. That's where the newsreader versus journalist comes in. It really is about evaluating business opportunities, commercial insights, financial rigor, so the numbers behind it and why it makes sense, and people skills are key here. Because sometimes we're really technical, and it's a bit like a hammer and a nail. We know this is the right answer, and we'll make you listen. Now it's about how you influence and take businesses with you and do it together. So insights, analytics, make time to get into roles that allow you to explore and be exposed to those. Get some risk experience under your belt, from traditional finance risks to emerging risks, cyber risk, reputational risk, different spaces. It's a bit of a balancing act. The CEO of Redefined, Mark Wayner, grew the business from 4 million to 4 billion in 4 years. He actually said to me his best CFO recruit in that space came from gambling. So I'm not sure how to take that. But he said what he was looking for is someone that could identify the risks, to see the rain cloud, but spot the points of sunshine in that rain cloud around making ideas and opportunities genuinely come to life. So it's not just about risk aversion, but calculated risks that make a business difference. Be a deal maker. Particularly if you're going to see this sector grow in terms of Mauritius itself, it's not going to necessarily all be organic. It's about who you partner with, who you know, how you make time to get to know a broader network. You now have something in common. You've all survived the journey, thrived through the journey, and have a network sitting next to you of new members. Tap into them. Right? It is really important because sometimes the journey gets tough. Sometimes it gets lonely. And more importantly, we forget to celebrate and share our stories and success. Make time for that. Actively engage stakeholders. Talk the same language. The good thing about being accountants is when you mention the balance sheet, we all light up because we understand it. Okay? We have a common platform that allows us to connect. Make sure you build those relationships in good and bad times. Often, really big change in organizations is best when things are going well. You have to be able to take yourself out of it to spot the opportunity. So with this in mind, and conscious that I'm standing between you and your pins, which you waited very hard for, there are things that I wish I'd known in my 20s that I want you to take with you and that I'd known when I started my career. Fail fast. People will forget and forgive you and your mistakes much faster than you do. Take each thing as a learning experience. Keep your pink slip, or have your pink slip, and keep it in your pocket to not suffer strategic seduction. So if you know what you want to do and where you think you want to be in 5 years' time, put that down and keep it close to your heart and where you're going. And the best analogy I have is, if I come to Mauritius and I'm looking to buy a really, really great piece of land, for example, and someone sells me a golf villa because they're a great salesperson, I need my strategic pink slip to say, I I just came for land. Okay, so keep that in your pocket. Always put your hand up. The worst case scenario you may have is someone says no or you're not ready, and then takes the time to coach you and why, and becomes a mentor. Run fast, but make sure you run with people and take them with you. Biggest lesson I learned over my career was someone asked me early on, it's not would people work with you, it's would people work for you. So be very conscious of taking someone with you, lifting people up, and at a point in your career as you move from being a great team member, a super user, to a leader, make sure that you're leading from behind so they realize their potential. Seek out mentors and sponsors early on. People will be there for you. Hold up the mirror to you. Have tough conversations or push you a little bit harder than you would normally yourself. And the sponsors are those that will advocate for you. When you are not in the room, they're going to say, did you think about so-and-so? Or what about this opportunity? So make time to find and work with those people. You are the CEO of Me Inc. Okay? And like any good business, you need to have your board of advisors and people too. So connect your networks, connect to each other, and don't be scared to ask. I've yet to meet anyone that will say no to an opportunity to talk to young talent and young professionals and people excited and passionate about what they do. And it's a truly authentic piece that's probably one of the most famous, done in 2005, commencement speeches ever done. And the theme was largely about do what you love. And he said, your work is going to fill a large part of your life. The only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. All matters of the heart, as with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. And to have survived and thrived and worked through the journey you've done, to be credited tonight as an ACCA member, you have found it. Keep looking forward, keep looking up, and wishing you the very, very best of success in your careers. Thank you.